Hello everyone, welcome to the 2018 CAA Men's Basketball Media Day show on Twitter, presented by Under Armour. I'm Bobby Broyles, along with Rob Washburn, and over the next hour we are going to go around the league previewing team by team and looking at the storylines heading into what should be another exciting season in CAA basketball.
Yeah, that's right, Bobby. We have a great show for you today as we will hear from all 10 head coaches and a student athlete from each team as they give us a glimpse of what to expect during the 2018-19 season.
Well, before we get started, it is time to officially release the 2018 CAA Men's Basketball Preseason All-Conference team and the predicted order of finish. Now we introduce to you the CAA Men's Basketball Preseason Player of the Year, Hofstra senior guard Justin Wright Foreman. Now here's the rest of the preseason All-CAA Men's Basketball first team. Jarrell Brantley, College of Charleston. Devontae Kaycock, UNCW. Vasa Pushica, Northeastern. Grant Riller, College of Charleston. Now here's a look at the preseason All-CAA Men's Basketball second team. Nathan Knight, William & Mary. Stuckey Mosley, James Madison. Eli Pemberton, Hofstra. Justin Pierce, William & Mary. Tyler Sebring, Elon. Northeastern landed in the top spot in the CAA Men's Basketball predicted order of finish. The Huskies returned all 5 starters from last year's 23-10 team that captured a share of the CAA regular season title and advanced to the finals of the CAA Men's Basketball Championship. The Huskies are followed by College of Charleston. The Cougars welcome back 3 starters from a 26-8 squad that won the CAA regular season and tournament championships for the first time and advanced to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1999. Hofstra rounds out the top 3. 4 starters are back from a Pride team that posted a 19-12 mark a year ago, including the squad's top 2 scorers. For more on the preseason all-conference teams and predicted order of finish, visit CAAsports.com. Welcome back, everyone. It is now time to preview our first team for today as we take a look at the CAA preseason favorites, Northeastern. Rob, it was a great season for the Huskies last year, even though they came up short in last season's CAA title game.
Yeah, you could make a case that Northeastern was the surprise team in the CAA last season, as they went from being picked 6th in the league's preseason poll to winning 23 games and a share of the CAA regular season title. Now, the Huskies won't sneak up on anyone this year, as all 5 starters and most of their top reserves are back. Northeastern was solid on both ends of the floor last season, ranking 2nd in the conference in field goal and three-point percentage while being one of the best teams in the nation at defending the three-point line. They have the type of veteran team that could be in position to make some noise in March, and as always, they will test themselves against a challenging non-conference schedule that includes Syracuse, Harvard, St. Bonaventure, Vermont, Bucknell, and Oakland, along with facing Alabama in the opener of a loaded field at the Charleston Classic.
Here is Coach Bill Cohen on the goals and expectations for his team coming into this season.
We returned 7 of our top 8 players from last year, a team that fell just shy of winning a CAA championship and heading off to returning to the NCAA tournament. So we're pretty excited about this group. I think each and every year sets up differently, but here at Northeastern, we never change our goals and expectations. Each and every year we we set out to win a regular season CAA title as well as the CAA tournament. We do that by trying to be in the top 3 in both offensive and defensive efficiency.
The Huskies do come in at the top spot in the CAA predicted order of finish, and rightfully so, Rob, as they will be led by preseason all-first team member Vasa Pušica.
If you want to point to one reason that Northeastern exceeded expectations last year, it was the play of Vasa Pušica at the point guard spot. He led the Huskies in scoring with nearly 18 points per game, ranked 3rd in the CAA in assists, and seemingly made the right play down the stretch whenever Northeastern needed it. However, he wasn't the only reason for the Huskies' success. Sean Osias developed into a double-digit scorer and earned CAA Defensive Player of the Year honors after leading the conference in steals. Donnell Gresham hit 66 threes and shot 43% from beyond the arc. Max Borsico contributed scoring and rebounding, and Anthony Green anchored the post while making over 71% of his field goal attempts. You add in CAA Sixth Man of the Year Bolden Brace and CAA All-Rookie selection Thomas Murphy off the bench, and it's easy to see why the Huskies have been picked number 1 in the preseason poll.
Here is Vasa on how this year's team is ready to make another run at a CAA championship.
Well, we felt like we had a good year last year, but obviously losing to Charleston in the championship game after being up by 17 points in the second half definitely hurts, and that's one of our biggest motivations for this year.
Northeastern will tip off their 2018-19 season at home against city rival Boston University on Tuesday, November the 6th. Just getting started here on today's CAA Men's Basketball Media Day show. Now time to take a look at last year's CAA champions, the College of Charleston Cougars. A great season for the Cougars, Rob, that ended with a CAA title in dramatic fashion and nearly pulling off a first-round upset in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, if there's any team in the CAA that enters the season with momentum, it has to be Charleston, which overcame a 17-point second-half deficit to win their first CAA championship in overtime before a raucous crowd at the North Charleston Coliseum. While the Cougars' year ended with a heartbreaking loss to Auburn in the NCAA tournament, they returned the majority of their players from last season and will be motivated to make another run to the big dance. As always, when you talk about Charleston, it starts on defense, where the Cougars were number 1 in the conference once again in fewest points allowed. However, this year's squad also has the ability to put plenty of points on the board. Much like Northeastern, Charleston will play a challenging non-conference slate with games against Oklahoma State, Rhode Island, and VCU, along with taking on LSU and either UAB or Florida State in the Advocare Invitational.
Well, we got to speak to one of the players from last year's team as Jarrell Brantley tells us what it's like to win the CAA championship last year in Charleston.
It was amazing. I think not only for myself, but just for the team and for the city. I think the city was waiting on it for a long time, so it was fun to be able to be a part of it.
The Cougars do come in at the 2nd spot in the CAA predicted order of finish and will be led by Jarrell along with fellow preseason CAA first team member Grant Riller.
Yeah, there are not many better 1-2 punches than Grant Riller and Jarrell Brantley. Riller was 4th in the league in scoring with over 18 points per game last season and has the range to knock down three-pointers and the quickness to get to the rim. Brantley added 17 points per contest and is an extremely tough cover because he has the size and strength to score in the post as well as the ability to hit perimeter jumpers. They're surrounded by experience as Nick Harris is back for his 4th year as a starter in the post. Senior Marquise Pointer provides a veteran presence running the point, and junior Jalen McManus got valuable time as a starter early last year when Brantley was injured.
Here is Coach Grant on his 2 returning scores.
Well, I mean, I think what makes them good players is the fact that they've been around this program for some years now. You know, I remember them coming in as freshmen, having a big responsibility. You know, Jarrell started every game as a freshman. Grant sat out his freshman year. So I think just the experience, the ups and downs along the way over the past 3 years, I think just that experience is invaluable. You can't put a price tag on it, but they really work hard. They're always in the gym. You know, matter of fact, I just walked through TD Arena and I saw Grant Riller in there. So they always in the gym working hard, and we always believe whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So I think they deserve the success that they've had at this point. Hopefully we can continue to help them grow so they can reach their potential in this program.
College of Charleston will begin their 2018-19 season at home versus Presbyterian on Tuesday night, November the 6th at 7 o'clock on CAA.TV. It is now time to preview our third team for today as we take a look at Hofstra. A good season for the Pride last year, but didn't end quite the way they wanted with an early exit in the quarterfinals from the CA tournament.
Yeah, Hofstra's loss in the quarterfinals shouldn't take away from what was a solid 19-12 record and a third-place CA finish a year ago. The Pride returns the majority of its roster, including 4 starters, from a team that averaged nearly 80 points per game offensively. The guy who provided more than a quarter of that offensive production is back in senior guard Justin Wright Foreman, who was honored as the CA Player of the Year after ranking 5th in the nation, scoring with better than 24 points per game. He can score from anywhere on the floor and was also one of the league leaders in assists. Now, Hofstra will be tested in the non-conference portion of the schedule with road games at Marshall, Maryland, and VCU, but this team is seasoned enough to handle those challenges.
Head coach Joe Mihalik spoke to us about the CA Preseason Player of the Year, Justin Wright Foreman.
He does it on every level. He gets fouled. He gets to the basket. He gets past people. He shoots the ball very, very well. He can create his own shot and get his own shot. He really has no weakness as far as it comes to scoring the basketball. He'll be challenged this year, though. We know this. He'll be circled on every scouting report. Every team's goal will be to stop Justin Wright Foreman, and he's going to have to rise to that challenge every night.
We know and have seen Justin Wright Foreman do it all for the Pride in recent seasons, Rob, but he'll need some help from the role players around him to produce as well if they want to be the team to cut down the nets in March.
Yeah, one great thing about having a player like Justin Wright Foreman being the focus of opposing defenses is that it creates opportunities for other players. Junior guard Eli Pemberton does a little bit of everything for the Pride and contributed 16 points and 5 rebounds per game a year ago. Senior Jazir Bowie provides a steady hand and leadership at the point guard spot, and shooting guard Jalen Ray is coming off a CAA All-Rookie campaign last season where he showed great ability to score from three-point range. The big question is up front, where the Pride must replace standout center Rokas Kustiz, who finished his career as the second leading rebounder in CAA history. Junior Stafford Trueheart is back as a starter at forward, and Hofstra has added big men Jaquil Taylor from Purdue and Dan Dwyer from Penn to help fill that role in the post.
Justin Wright Foreman took some time with us to tell us about some of his teammates he sees having a breakout year for the Pride.
Definitely Jazir Bowie. He's worked tremendously hard. I'm in the gym with him almost every day, and especially since he's trusting his knee a lot more after that terrible injury he had, and he's come back and he's proven himself day in and day out. Also, Stafford Trueheart, Elijah Pemberton, Jalen Ray also been in the gym very heavy and just working on their craft every day.
The Pride will be at home to open their season on Friday, November the 9th at 7:30 on CA.TV as they will take on Mount St. Mary's. Now we take a look at William & Mary and Rob. The Tribe were right back in the thick of conference race again last year and once again are predicted to be finishing at the top half of the standings coming into this season.
Yeah, William & Mary is the only team in the CAA to have won 10 or more conference games for the past 5 seasons, and they finished no lower than 4th place in the league standings during that stretch. Now, we all know what the Tribe does better than most any team in the country, and that's shoot the ball. Last year, they became the first team in NCAA history to shoot better than 50% from the floor, 40% from three-point range, and 80% from the free throw line, and 4 of their top 6 scorers are back from that squad. The Tribe also faces a difficult non-conference slate that includes Notre Dame, Virginia, Marshall, St. Joseph's, Jordan Mason, and Old Dominion. That should leave them well prepared to make another run at reaching the NCAA tournament for the first time.
Here is their returning leading scorer Nathan Knight on some of the goals and expectations for the Tribe.
Our goals and expectations are pretty much the same. We want to win a title. We want to be the best team in the league. The only thing that's really changed for us, in my opinion, is the way we attack that goal and achievement, because last year compared to this year, the personnel has changed drastically. So I feel like that's the only thing that's changed for our team, but our goals and our dreams have stayed the same. They stayed constant. That's just to be the best team in the league and to win a conference title and make a run in the tournament. I feel like that goal has been constant for us over at least my career here as a member of the Tribe. So,
as you saw, William & Mary does bring back one of the best players in the CAA in Nathan Knight to lead this Tribe team.
Yeah, Nathan Knight made a huge step in his development last season, averaging 18.5 points and over 7 rebounds per game, while also ranking 2nd in the league in block shots. He has added shooting range to go with his array of inside moves and has become even tougher to stop. Another junior who's coming off a breakout year is wing Justin Pierce, who earned All-CAA honors after ranking 3rd in the league with 8.6 rebounds per game and contributing nearly 15 points per contest. Also back for the Tribe are guard Matt Milan, who knocked down 77 three-pointers and scored 13 points per game, and six-man Paul Rowley, who buried 48 trays. Now, William & Mary faces a challenge replacing three-year point guard David Cohn and three-point specialist Connor Birchfield, but hopes that sophomores Luke Lowy and Johar Williams, along with a talented freshman class, can fill that void.
Here is head coach Tony Shaver on his returning leading scorer, Nathan Knight.
Well, the thing that people don't see about Nathan Knight, they see the dunks, they see the passes, they see the block shots, but they don't see him in the out-of-season working as hard as he works. His work ethic has been terrific. You know, he's lost right at 50 pounds since his freshman year. He's a much more trim-lined athlete. His speed is better. His vertical jump has gone up. His ability to shoot the basketball from the perimeter has gone up. So he's really improved himself as a player. And we expect that of our guys. You know, he had an all-conference season last year, and if Nate's comfortable with that, he's in the wrong place. He's got to get better and find other ways to help our team be successful this year.
William & Mary tips off their 2018-19 campaign at home versus High Point on Wednesday, November the 7th at 7 o'clock on CA.TV. Now we take a look at UNCW, and Rob, the Seahawks had a tough season under first-year head coach CB McGrath, but some momentum down the stretch. Reaching the semifinals of the CA tournament could generate momentum for this program going into this season.
Yeah, with a change in coaches and a number of new starters, it took some time for UNCW to find its groove last season. But this was a team that got markedly better as the year went along and advanced to the semifinals of the CA tournament for the fourth year in a row. Now, offense wasn't a problem, as the Seahawks averaged better than 79 points per game, and they returned three players who averaged double digits in scoring a year ago. UNCW was also an excellent rebounding team. However, the key to their overall success will be continuing to make strides on the defensive end. UNCW has some marquee opponents on its non-conference schedule, including facing Stanford in their home opener, and they have back-to-back December matchups with Davidson and North Carolina.
Let's take a listen to the UNCW's head coach CB McGrath on some of the keys to success for this year's team.
Obviously, I think stay confident and stay healthy. You know, we're putting in the work. You know, we obviously have a tough non-conference schedule. Similar to last year, we got off to a slow start and then, you know, got beat down a little bit confidence-wise. And we need to make sure that we're keeping their confidence no matter how you start against some of these teams. You know, and so you're playing your best at the end of the year. But, you know, I think those are the two things. And just to see how they all react with having more depth. You know, last year, if you were healthy, you played. You know, and this year, if you're healthy, you might not play because we're going to have a bunch of healthy guys that can do what we want them to do, and the guys that are going to do what we want them to do are going to play more.
One big piece, and we physically mean big, for the Seahawks to lead the way will be Devontae Cacok.
Yeah, Devontae Cacok is simply one of the best inside players in the nation. 2 years ago, he set the NCAA record by shooting 80% from the floor, and last season he led the country in rebounding with better than 13 per game, while also averaging nearly 18 points per contest. While he'll be the focus of the UNCW attack, the Seahawks return a pair of double-digit scores in the backcourt. Ty Taylor knocked down 51 three-pointers and averaged 14 points per game, and Jalen Fornes connected on 50 trays and averaged 12 points. The Seahawks have backcourt depth with sophomores Jay Estime and Jeff Gary, and they're hoping to get big contributions from Florida Atlantic transfer Gene Alcia.
Here is Devontae Cacok on the leadership role he will take on his senior campaign.
Well, I know for sure from last year, my junior year, I had to really take a leadership role, and I feel like it has carried over to this year as well. Last year was me and Jordan. This year is kind of a big thing for me, and I'm trying to just get the message off of being a hard-working team, having better defensive principles, just staying focused, locked in, and bringing all the pieces together to help build up a great team again.
UNCW tips off their 2018-19 season on the road at Campbell on Tuesday, November the 6th. Time to look at JMU on today's show. Rob, the Dukes were not just one of the youngest teams in the CA last season, but in the country. So you would think that has to be good news for Coach Lou Rowe coming into this season.
Yeah, JMU's young players not only got a significant amount of playing time, but they got tons of experience in close games, as the Dukes had an incredible 25 contests decided by 10 points or less or in overtime. That should serve them well this season, as all but 2 players are back from a year ago. JMU is a team that you could see getting better each week as the young guys got more comfortable, and I think you could see them make a big jump this year. The Dukes were solid defensively and led the CA in steals, but need to improve their shooting percentages. JMU's on the road for the majority of their non-conference schedule, so they should be seasoned when league play gets underway.
We spoke with the Dukes' returning leading scorer Stuckey Mosley on how this group has come together more heading into this season.
We definitely feel more comfortable after a whole year playing with each other, and the freshmen got a whole year to play and get experience, so it's definitely different coming into this year knowing that we all played together before.
Stuckey was one of several players returning that received all-conference recognition a year ago, along with sophomores Matt Lewis and Darius Banks, who made last year's All-CA rookie team.
Yeah, JMU definitely has plenty of firepower in that backcourt. Mosley ranked 6th in the league in scoring with over 18 points per game and knocked down 85 three-pointers. He's a very streaky shooter who can carry a team when he gets hot. Lewis was the runner-up for CA Rookie of the Year and was unstoppable at times in CA play, where he averaged nearly 18 points per game. Banks also had a great freshman year and contributed 10 points per contest. Now, JMU could be as deep as any team in the league up front. DeVell Phillips averaged nearly 9 points and led the team in rebounding and blocked 38 shots last season. And there are also 3 sophomores who saw a lot of action with Zach Jacobs, Greg Jones, and Dwight Wilson.
Well, we spoke to head coach Lou Rowe on his team's expectations going into this season.
Well, I think kind of the consensus as in the preseason has been us being older, and obviously there's improvement in being older. So we're a year older, which helps. But I don't rest on that, and I don't think our team rests on that. I do think that this team has gotten to a point where we're longer, you know, maybe a little more athletic. I feel like there are guys that have individually worked on their games and improved their games. And I feel like there's some depth now where we can maybe do some more things that we want to do offensively and defensively.
JMU opens their season at home in the Convo versus Eastern Mennonite on Tuesday night, November the 6th at 7 o'clock on CA.TV. Delaware is now up on the 2018 CA Men's Basketball Media Day show. Tough season for the Blue Hens a season ago, but they were able to pick up a victory in the CA tournament to carry some momentum into the offseason.
Yeah, not only did Delaware win a CA tournament game for the 2nd year in a row, but they closed the regular season with victories in 2 of their final 3 contests. Injuries certainly took their toll on this team after they started 3-2 in CAA play, but the good news is the Blue Hens return a lot of guys who have gotten significant playing time. 5 players who started at least 11 games are back, and they have experience at every spot on the floor. Now, this is year 3 of Martin Inglesby's tenure at Delaware, and you've seen the improvement they've been able to make. If they can stay healthy, I would expect to see the Blue Hens make another step forward.
Here is Delaware's head coach Martin Inglesby on some of the strides he has seen since taking over the program.
I think we've set a really strong and solid foundation of who we are as a basketball program. That's been a focus of mine, trying to really improve the culture. We've spent a lot of time as a team really diving into our values. We spent time this summer in the preseason, went through exercises with our players and our coaching staff, and really came up with 5 core values of our program, really the pillars of success. And those will be based off of all the decisions that we make in our basketball program. So I'm really happy with that growth and where we are heading into year 3.
Like we heard, Rob, this squad has several underclassmen who were able to gain a lot of experience a year ago.
Yeah, the Blue Hens feature 2 of the top young guards in the CA in Ryan Allen and Kevin Anderson. Allen was named CA Rookie of the Year after averaging 15 points per game and finishing among CA leaders with 86 three-pointers. Anderson would have also been a strong contender for that award if not for a season-ending injury in December, because he was averaging 14 points and 5 rebounds through 11 games. Complementing those 2 in the post is senior Eric Carter, who developed into one of the league's top big men. He was 3rd in the CAA with 9 rebounds per game and also scored 11 points per contest. Also back in the starting lineup is versatile senior guard Darian Bryant, while forwards Kyrie Walker and Jacob Cushing can provide depth off the bench.
Here is Eric Carter on some of the goals and expectations his team has set out for this season.
Expectations are to win games. I think that we set the bar high in the off season and see what we can accomplish with the talent we have. So it's CAA or bust for us. I think that's definitely realistic. It's going to be a challenge. The CAA is very tough this year. A lot of great players, but I think come March we'll be playing our best basketball and go for it all.
The Blue Hens will begin their 2018-19 season on the road at Maryland on Tuesday night, November the 6th at 7:30 on Big Ten Network Plus. Elon is now up on today's show. A promising season to start last year for the Phoenix ended on a tough note, losing their last 7 games, but the Phoenix will look to bounce back this season in a brand new home arena.
Yeah, expectations were high for Elon going into last season, and they got off to a 4-2 start in conference play after knocking off eventual champion College of Charleston on January 13th, but they were unable to maintain that momentum down the stretch. However, this is a team that is led by a 5-man senior class that has loads of talent and experience, and they will have the added motivation of playing their home games in the beautiful new 5,100-seat Schar Center. Elon has always been one of the conference's top offensive team with 5 guys on the floor who can shoot the ball, especially from 3-point range. There's no reason to think they can't quickly return to their winning ways.
We caught up with senior forward Tyler Sebring on the team's goals heading into this season.
So this year we're of course going to try to compete every game. On a large scale we're trying to win the CAA championship and the NCAA tournament. But again, daily we're just going to try to compete and practice in every game to the best of our ability.
Like you said, Rob, the Phoenix will be a veteran-led group this season with 5 seniors returning that have played a lot of minutes in their Elon careers.
Yeah, Elon could have the most experienced starting 5 in the conference, led by 2-time All-CA forward Tyler Sebring. He contributed 15 points and 7 rebounds per game last season and is able to stretch defenses after hitting 82 three-pointers a year ago. Now back to run the show for the Phoenix is Danon Swoope, who tallied 12 points per contest and handed out a team-high 126 assists. On the wing is senior Steven Santa Ana, who chipped in nearly 10 points per contest and drained 53 trays. Guard Sheldon Eberhardt and forward Carlos Kundratos have been valuable reserves who should take on more prominent roles this season, along with sophomore guard Seth Fuller and sophomore forward Simon Wright.
Here is head coach Matt Matheny on the impact his upcoming seniors have made on this program.
Well, they've put their stamp on the program for sure. We're new to the Colonial when they stepped on campus for the first time, and they've been through the wars. You look at our 5 seniors, they're warriors. There've been some great days and there's been some tough days for these warriors, but they're experienced, they're battle tested, and they're playing right now, practicing right now with an edge. They're hungry, and it's great to see a warrior who's been through battles that's as hungry as our seniors are.
Elon opens up the 2018-19 season on the road at Manhattan on Tuesday night, November the 6th. Tip time is at 8:30. We continue on with today's show. Thank you for joining us here on Twitter. Drexel is now up, and Rob, the Dragons finished last season with a couple of amazing comebacks, with one of them being in a victory over JMU in the opening round of the CAA tournament.
Yeah, the Dragons certainly had a flair for the dramatic last year, setting an NCAA record by erasing a 34-point deficit to beat Delaware, and then coming back from 10 points down to defeat JMU in the CAA tournament. Now, this is year 3 for head coach Zach Spiker, and last season you could see the strides the program is making as they picked up victories over both CAA co-champions Northeastern and Charleston, as well as NCAA tournament team Houston. The key for Drexel is to become more consistent, and that begins with improving on defense and becoming more efficient offensively. There's an interesting blend of returnees and newcomers that can make this team one to watch.
Here is head coach Zach Spiker on some of the strides his team has made since taking over the program.
Well, our expectations on a daily basis are going to be consistent, and to challenge our guys to be consistent in practice, because you can have that goal, and like I said, all the other teams are going to have that same goal. It's what you do really in practice every day, and I would even go so far as to say it might be what you do, because everybody's going to practice the same hours. It's what you do those other 21 hours of the day to separate you from the other guys in our conference. Taking care of your body, eating the right way, getting the right weight room workout, sleeping the right way, taking care of business. So when you do come to the floor, you got a clear mind, so we can really get into the details of the schemes that we want to do. But our expectation is that we come together as a team and play connected basketball more than we have our first 2 years.
Drexel does bring back a lot of experience in the backcourt as they will be led by senior Troy Harper and junior Kirk Lee.
Yeah, having veteran guards is always a good way to build your team, and Drexel has a couple of good ones in Lee and Harper. Lee averaged over 12 points per game, dished out 107 assists, and was again among CAA leaders in steals with 41. Harper was the Dragons' sixth man last year and contributed 10 points per contest. Up front, Alihan Demir had a solid first year with the team, tallying 11 points and over 5 rebounds per game. Also backer Sam Green, who was limited to 6 games due to injury, and sophomore Jarvis Doles. Now, Drexel has added several transfers who should help right away, including forward James Butler from Navy and JUCO wing Zach Walton.
We spoke with one of those players, Troy Harper, on the team's goals heading into 2018-19. Take a listen.
The goals I want to set for my team is to just play together throughout the whole year, try to win the regular season, CAA, and also win the tournament, the CAA tournament, so we can make a run in the NCAA tournament.
The Dragons will be on the road to start the 2018-19 season with a visit to Eastern Michigan on Friday, November the 9th at 11 a.m. on ESPN+. And we wrap up today's CAA Men's Basketball Media Day show, taking a look at Towson, a winning season for the Tigers last year, which included a pair of tournament championships in non-conference action.
Yeah, Towson had the best non-conference performance of any team in the CAA last year, getting off to a 10-1 start, including a 13-point victory over NCAA Tournament Cinderella UMBC. However, they were inconsistent during CAA play and had to settle for a 5th-place finish. Now, this year's Towson roster features a bunch of new faces, but they will try to continue that recent run of success that has seen the Tigers win 18 or more games in 5 of the past 6 years. Now, while the players are different, the mindset will be the same, with a focus on tough, hard-nosed defense and relentless play on the glass.
We caught up with Coach Pat Scarry on some of the newcomers we could see making an impact for this year's team.
Well, there's a lot of them, and we're going to play a lot of guys. Our better teams have been, well, not always, but I like teams that are deep, and this team has a chance to be deep. You know, Nakai Sanders sat out for us, who fits our mold. He can rebound, score, he's athletic, he's physical, and he's really worked at his game offensively, so he's a chance to surprise some people. We got a couple good junior college guys. Brian Fobbs has the body type. You know, he's 6'5", 220, and is an excellent shooter, and is picking up things defensively quickly. TJ Howard is a skilled, savvy point guard, very good with the ball, capable of making shots, a little more dynamic than maybe what we've had there. Got to prove he can guard at this level. And we've got good freshmen. You know, I'd say after the first couple of days of practice, the guys that have stood out the most with the freshmen are Nick Timberlake, obviously is a very good athlete. He can shoot it, and he don't turn it over. That's important for young guys. Jakai Doughton's going to push. You know, 6 days of practice, he had 1 turnover. That's, as a point guard and the guy coaching point guards, I like that. He's big, strong, rugged.
Basically an overhaul, Rob, on the roster heading into this season, but the Tigers do bring back a trio of veterans to lead the way.
Yeah, Towson's lone returning starter is senior forward Alex Thomas, who averaged 4 rebounds per game and blocked 26 shots last season. He'll be joined up front by Dennis Tunstall, who averaged 4 rebounds in just 15 minutes of playing time, and he also shot better than 73% from the floor. In the backcourt, Jordan McNeil contributed 5 points per game and shot 39% from three-point range. Among the newcomers who should make immediate contributions are JUCO point guard TJ Howard, JUCO shooting guard Brian Fobbs, and forward Nakai Sanders, a transfer from Duquesne.
Here is one of those returners, Dennis Tunstall, on what we can expect from the Tigers this season.
I feel like you guys can expect a lot from us, a lot of winning. We got a whole bunch of new pieces on the team, and I feel like if everybody plays their role, we can accomplish all of our goals.
Towson opens up their season on the road at ACC opponent Virginia on Tuesday, November the 6th. That completes the 2018 CAA Men's Basketball Media Day show. If you missed any of the team previews, you can watch today's show on CASports.com or on the CAA's YouTube page.
Yeah, speaking of social media, remember fans, you can follow the league today and throughout the season on many of our social media outlets such as Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, searching CAA Sports, or on Twitter at CAA Basketball, and make sure you use that hashtag CAA Hoops.
CAA Men's Basketball Media Day isn't over yet. Coming up this afternoon at 1 o'clock, log on to CAA.tv and listen in on the CAA Men's Basketball Media Day teleconference, as members of the media will have their opportunities to ask questions to the coaches and student athletes to get their perspective on the upcoming 2018-19 season.
And fans, you can participate as well. Send in your questions Twitter at CAA Basketball, and once again to remember, use that hashtag CAA Hoops, and you could hear your question on the air.
That is it from us here on Twitter. Thank you, fans, for tuning in, and we look forward to what should be another exciting 2018-19 season. For Rob Washburn, I'm Bobby Broyles. Have a great day, everyone.